Hi, everyone, and welcome to Migration Films Watch Party. Um,
Hello.
this, Hi, this is Terry Olson, the head of Fusionfest. My name is Lori Turchin. I'm the film curator, and today we have a film about Samir. I'm not going to even try to pronounce your last name, Samir. Could you say it for us?
Samir Fkiyi.
Samir Fee. And we have Onchanto M from Cambodia, and we'll be looking at her film second. How are you doing tonight, Samir?
Very good, wonderful.
Yeah.
Especially I'm with you here, so I can't be better.
Tell us a little bit about your journey here to America.
So basically, I came here through Disney. I just came here to work for 1 year, and then here we go, over 12 years now,
Wow.
and 2 kids and a wife and a whole different life.
Terry, did you have something you wanted to ask?
No, is that a virtual backdrop or do you have big flags in your place?
Yes, those are real flags, and that's a door from Morocco. But it's not from Morocco. We just printed and put on the wall to have the feel of Morocco anytime.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's an image. Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cool. So cool.
And-
So you're home.
Yes, it is
Oh,
home.
okay.
So whenever I come from the door, I see Morocco.
Onchanto, are you in a log cabin or is that a virtual?
It is a log cabin.
Oh, yeah. That's a cabin.
I'm the only one in a virtual background.
All right. Well, I'm not going to ask you to play the piano, so.
Good.
Well, let's take a look at Samir's film.
Okay. Leah?
My name is Samir. I'm from Morocco. My story does not have drama. It has success and a lot of hard work. So I came here from Morocco with $600 in my pocket and no English. Yes, you heard it right. No English. When I came here, I worked a lot. A little bit after, I become a restaurant owner, a businessman, and today, a successful real estate agent. I never thought I would have the success I have today. Let's go!
Hey.
One day when I was at Disney, it was actually a funny story. When I was at Disney, I went to the store to treat my friends for calamari. So I went to the store looking at the calamari on the fridge. I took it, I went, I made the oil, and I start frying the calamari. But the funny part is, it starts smelling different. So when it starts smelling different, we understood and we knew that it was not really calamari, it was onion rings. My story was different, probably because I was from Morocco. I was probably blessed to come from Morocco and not like come the way they came. Yes, I came with $600 in my pocket. I came looking for a better life, but it was a little bit different. I'm here, I was coming here to improve myself, to be better, and that's why I always try to tell people in YouTube, in my channel, what I do. Part of the organization is always we try to push people and tell them forget about the darkness and look for the light. Go ahead and focus on yourself. Don't worry about English. If you don't speak English, you still can make it. There's plenty of people that don't speak English and they're very successful. So focus on the light, focus on the great things that you have, and just do what you have to do, and I know you can make it. Great qualities. Keep the qualities that you have here in Morocco. But when you go to United States, make sure you look for what grade they have and try to mix both of them, and you're gonna be the best. So that's what I did. I'm trying to be a great Moroccan living in the United States. I try to become an American. I don't want people to see me different than them, but in the meantime, I like to represent my culture. I like to tell them who I am as a Moroccan living in the United States. As the president of the Moroccan Cultural Society of Florida, we do our best to help people, Moroccans and Americans, but we also focus on sharing our cultures. We did galas, we're preparing a festival, and we try to show you who we are as Moroccans, and we love doing that. Yeah, actually, when I was coming from Morocco, I never expected to marry an American woman. So after 3 months, I asked her, you know, I want to marry you. And I'm sure for her, she's thinking he wanted a green card. But, you know, that was not the case. I never thought about green card. So in 6 months, I asked her to tell her family. And it's crazy because I'm Muslim, her dad is Catholic, her mom is Jewish. And guess this combination, it does not really, I didn't think it's gonna work. But guess what, 12 years later, we're here. I got my green card, my citizenship. We're still together. We have 2 kids, and we're having a great, great life.
Okay, Samir, do you like onion rings?
What's that?
Do you like onion rings?
Oh yeah. That was crazy. That I will never forget that. Definitely do now.
Well, you know, it's funny. We had another migration film that was done like really early on, and this guy came from Nigeria, and he went to the grocery store, and there was like this canned stuff for like 25 cents, and he bought it and he ate it, and his roommates came home, and he was like, "Oh, it was dog food."
Oh my God. So I think I'm good. I'm in safe hands. Onion rings is better.
Now, could you tell everyone what is behind you, because it looks like a real Moroccan?
Yeah. So in Morocco, in all the there's big doors like this. I don't know if you go to Epcot, you'll see kind of similar, but they take in the doors because you cannot do it here. It's so expensive and it's so huge. Like I'm talking, these doors usually when you come in, you open them. If you go to the old Medina, some houses still have that, and that's the Moroccan tile. That's real tile that they make it piece by piece. So it's traditionally very known. If you go to the old Medina, you see a lot of this combination. But this is, if you go to the palace of the king in Fas, you'll see this. So every place you'll see kind of this tile and the doors like this. So that's how doors are in Morocco.
But that's not real tile there.
No, I can't afford that. It's not easy to bring real tile from Morocco because you need people to put it, and not every tile person can do that. It's a specific tile, and not everybody can put it together.
I have a question about your in-laws. So you talked about them being different religions, and how is it all going to mix? Have you had awkward moments with them?
Not really. The good thing is, father-in-law and mother-in-law, they lived that before. So when I came in, they had that. So it was not something different. So whenever had any problems, they see Cassie fasting, they see us doing our things, we see them doing their things. And also I think because they don't practice much, so that's also help. Like, I'm not going to say helping it. It's just everybody minds their business. We respect what we're doing. They respect what they're doing. And we respect who we are, not who we believe or what we do, because that's something personal to each person. We never even had a chance to talk about it. It's just if I'm talking, I tell them about this or this, and they get it, and then they say their stories, and we don't go deep into things, and it's just respect. It's who we are, not who we believe into.
Now, does your mother-in-law celebrate Jewish holidays, and does your father-in-law?
She does one. I know that she sometimes don't go out. She does not go in the car and all that stuff, but she does not
Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
Right.
She does not do the fasting they do. She does not do, but yes, she does she does know what it is. Like when Hanukkah is Hanukkah, when other holidays.
She's culturally Jewish.
Mhm.
That's what I call cultural. It's like what
Yeah.
I am. I don't follow the Shabbat. I don't,
Mhm.
I don't keep kosher, but I'm a Jew. You whether
The New York one, so.
yeah, exactly.
And
Now,
are your children learning anything about the other religions?
I'm not sure if they are. The thing is, like Islam has a lot more stuff, but since they see me praying, since they see me fasting, so they kind of try to do what they see daily. I'm not sure if grandpa and grandma talk to them about anything, but I'm sure they will learn stuff while they're going, because they go with friends that they're Christians. They see it all. So that's
right.
the good thing about United States. And the other thing about my religion, I think it's kind of has a lot of Jewish stuff, Christian stuff, and Muslim stuff. So they learn from the religion, even though they don't know really much of Islam. They just know prayer. They know certain verse of the Quran by heart for the prayer and stuff, but they don't know like the big picture. She's 8 and he's 5, so they're not there yet.
Right. Now, Ramadan is happening right now. Could
Yeah.
you tell us a little bit about Ramadan, and do children like in the Jewish religion, like kids get a pass at Yom Kippur? They don't have to fast. Do kids get a pass for Ramadan? And I have to plug in. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. So for
Whoa.
us, yes, we're fasting. We fast from sunrise to sundown. We don't eat. We don't drink. And we don't do any. We try to not do any sins that we may do usually. I don't know. Not that we going back and forth doing sins, but we try our best to not do anything bad at all. We try to help the hungers, to feed people. So it's really nice to understand what it means not to eat all day. And if we're talking about and actually it's a spiritual month as well. So we do a lot of praying, a lot of reading of the Quran. It's a spiritual month. For the kids, we do. It's funny how if the kids get to that age, like 8, 9, 10, where they want it sometimes to fast, and the only way not to get them fast the whole day is you tell them fast from when they wake up until noon, and then they eat a good, very good lunch, and then they fast till 7, and you tell them that you sow that day for them. So it's just a funny thing to have them fast but not fast.
Okay.
But they cheat here and there. You don't really, you tell them that you're allowed. If you cannot do something, just go ahead and eat. You're going to be forgiven. You're not there yet. You're just practicing. You're just training. Right. And after that, at the Eid, which is the end of Ramadan, you should reward them with something because they did an effort. So that's how it goes for them to learn.
How long does that Ramadan last?
30 days.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I should go with Ramadan just to lose weight.
It's 29 to 30 days, but it's good. It's proven that fasting helps a lot with mental and a lot of other things.
Sure.
Samir, your filmmaker was from Colombia, Juan David Tena.
Yes.
So did you have conversations about the differences between your two countries of origin?
Actually, we had a lot of conversations when we were at the film when we were filming. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of we had a chance to know about each other. And anything I tell them, that we kind of compare it with their country. And also we become like a family. So we met after they met with my family. I met with his family, and it become like a little family. We gathered together at one time. We had fun. So definitely yes, I learned so much from them. And they learned.
You should let everyone know, Lori, of how this is arranged and how the competition goes.
Yeah, just so everyone understands, on the last Friday of August, we have filmmakers show up at 6 o'clock, filmmakers that we have vetted, as you can see scrolling along the bottom of the screen, if any filmmakers want to sign up. And then we also look for subjects, one each from each Fusionfest sanctioned region, and we randomly pair them, and then we give the filmmakers 5 days to make a 3 to 5 minute short film, which then goes on to Global Peace Film Festival for screening, and then we'll have the grand prize screening after that, and then it goes on to Fusion Fest, where hopefully this year we'll be shown both days instead of just on one day. I'm hoping, Terry.
So Samir, have you sent your film back home?
A lot of people seeing it. I did not post it officially on my page. I was not sure if I could do it or not.
Oh, absolutely. Now that, yeah.
Definitely I will. Definitely I will do it. I had a lot of fun because Moroccans were there at the festival and they were able to see it. And it was actually a lot of fun seeing the film at Fusionfest, which is a big festival. And you know, the feeling is great. Like when you see yourself, you know, and people are chanting and laughing about the onion rings and all that. So it was fun, definitely.
I love that your car broke down. I just thought that was class. It's like, there you are, you filming, and guess what? The car's not going to start again.
And I love that they put it in. It was very good that they took that shot and they used it, because I loved it myself when I seen it.
Yeah, that's what we kind of call a happy accident. You know, it's like something that you film that like you never could have planned, but it just adds a little something to the piece.
Definitely.
And let me ask you, I know you came here with Epcot, which, you know, is really sort of a jaded view, if you will, because you were here for Morocco. And so you, but outside of that, how did you find acceptance? Did you not find acceptance? Did you feel you had to sort of educate people beyond that realm?
In the beginning, I never had a problem, actually. I felt like I was accepted. And the good thing about the place where we are, and let's call it Orlando in general, there's a lot of people from different places. So like I said in the film, I did not speak English. And guess what? I was meeting with my wife. I don't know. I still don't know how I was speaking to her or how we were even having a conversation. But I feel like we were good. I had a lot of funny moments where people talk, I don't understand them, and I'm just laughing, like I'm just kind of because I don't understand anything. And even Cassie told me one time, she was like, I know you did not understand me when you go with your laugh. So there's a lot of funny moments, but I definitely felt like I belonged. I never had any problems, so it was great. So larger community, different people, so it was amazing.
You seem to have picked it up very well. Did you take any lessons? Or?
Cassie's lessons. I went to Valencia as well. So I think work, meeting people, and I went to Valencia. I did English for academic purposes. So that helped as well. So, you know, to be with an American I don't know how many hours a day, you have to learn. You cannot just laugh all the time. So
that's actually very funny.
I was forced, but it's good, you know, finally.
Onchanto, do you have any questions for Samir before we turn over to you?
No, but I wanted to say that English wasn't my first language either. So I can resonate with that because there's only so many jokes that you can laugh at or phrases when you're going, sounds about right. So no, that's great. And, you know, it's your story is just, I feel like it's like the American dream in a way, where you come here for a certain purpose and then you realize that you can make a family and have this nice future ahead of you. So it's just powerful. And I think the first statement you made was about hard work, and it's hard work, but it's also what I hear from you is passion, and just you're so full of humor and happiness. So that's the other component too. So it's not just hard work. I feel like I can't wait to meet you in person, because I'm sure we'll have a lot of laughs.
Same here.
Well, okay. I heard a lot of good things about Samir at the cultural tent this year. He was the hit of the cultural tent.
I can see that.
I have a question for you too before we go on. In learning English, was there a phrase that like if someone said, I'm just pulling your leg, you're like, you know, those kind of things?
Okay, I have a funny one that happened at Epcot. So I was at Epcot getting everything together, and then a group of young people coming to me asking me, hey, Sam, I had Samir, my name tag. Hey, Samir, how are you? La, la, la. So they were like, what is cheers? Like, what is cheers? And to me, the only cheer I know is the chair. So I was like, kursi. The next thing I know is people going like, kursi, and everybody laughing at them because there's no kursi cheering. And Moroccans are laughing because they don't know what they're saying. But finally, somebody came to me. He was like, I saw them talking to you. Did you do that to them? I was like, no, I swear. They asked me for the chair. I said, the chair. They were like, no, they asked you for cheers. You had to say, and a lot
That's
more,
funny.
but it's just...
Cool.
How about you, Onchantho? Do you ever have it?
Yes, I have. And it's actually, so someone made a statement and I was like, let me give you my 10 cents. And you know, the phrase isn't 10 cents, it's 2 cents. But I went, let me give you my 10 cents. And they went, inflation? And I went, yes. And I just moved on from that conversation because I'm going, hold up, something just didn't sound right, but it sounded right in my head, but I said it. And it was funny that they reacted that way because it wasn't a moment of, hey, your English is not, appropriate, or you said something wrong. But it was great to have that conversation with them where they're going, I'll roll with the punches too. So that was a learning piece for me because there are still phrases that I'm constantly learning that sometimes you don't realize it has a meaning behind it, but that's because you're learning English as this is your second language, and sometimes it can come off not intending to be offensive. It's just you're learning the new language. So that's every day you learn something new, but at the same time it's funny when it rolls off, hey, 10 cents. And it's true, inflation is pretty bad these days. So
I think that's a great comeback on his part to make you feel at ease and make a joke of it. But let me ask you both a question. When you think, do you think in your native tongue or English, Samir?
Most of the times it goes to native tongue.
Native.
But you get to it little by little. I used to do it so many times. Like I used to even answering, and there's some words that you cannot even translate them. They won't even make sense. But like you just said, it's nice for people to kind of go with the flow. And sometimes people, they don't even understand what I'm saying, and they still listen to me. And I was not worried to speak, and that's, I think, what helped me to learn English, because I don't care if I say it wrong. I'll just say it. And people used to say good things, and they'd be like, hey, you know what? At least you speak 2 different languages. We only speak English. So they always cheered me and helped me out, which was great.
That's fantastic. How about you, An?
It's a mix, actually. Sometimes it depends on the context. So if they're saying some type of phrase where if it's not work related, I think immediately to what my parents would teach me. And then I would correlate that with the sayings that they would, for instance, my father always said, don't, it's just really interesting because he always had something to do with animals or plants or nature. So he would say something along the lines of bamboos, make sure that a baby bamboo likes to be surrounded by like bamboos. And I always wondered, that is the oddest thing. But his story behind it was the fact that in order for you to reach for the sky, in order for you to grow and aim for the stars, you need to grow straight, and you need to surround yourself with like bamboos. But if you want to be a certain way, surround yourself with those bamboos as well. So there's a lot of different things. So when it depends on the context of it, I always revert back to either what I learned from my ESOL teacher, which to this day I'm still friends with, or ESOL teacher, or it's something
that's
that
English's second language, in case everyone doesn't know. I'm sorry, An.
And if there's anyone listening to this that has a phrase or something that stuck out to them when they were learning here or when they traveled abroad, send us a note.
Well, Leo, can we see An's movie, which is called Onchanto?
Sometimes it was really difficult to find that spot where you felt like you belonged. Being Asian American, Cambodian American, we have a smaller population here in Florida, specifically in Pinellas County as well. So coming over here to Orlando, you felt at home, especially on the Mills Colonial or just on Colonial in general. You felt like you identified, you fit in, and you didn't have to question your existence here. My name is Onchanto Am. vice president and chief legal officer for Empower Inc., which is a nonprofit based here in Central Florida, providing services to children, families, and also adoptions, child well-being. You name it, we do so much in the community. I'm a huge self-proclaimed foodie. So I love all the delicious foods that we have to offer. So we have An Hung, Pho Hua. We also have sticky rice. We have all these beautiful coffee shops and ice cream shops in this area. And I always feel like you learn so much more about a culture or a place by the food. And you can have a taste of Cambodia by trying all these different places. You walk into these grocery stores, you smell the food, you can see the fish, you can see the crabs, you can see all the different options that they have in the vegetables, and you feel at home because you know you're only a few ingredients away from making a home dish, or a few ingredients away from taking you back to the memories that you had growing up. For me, keeping my heritage alive is telling my stories to my daughters. They should embrace their culture and not be afraid and hide from it. Just talking to your friends and being proud of saying that I'm Asian American. Our family is a mix of different cultures, a mix of different personalities, a mix of different practices. We embrace the diversity. For me, it's family is building something beyond that nuclear level. It's adding on to it. My father had a second grade education in Cambodia. My mom had no education in Cambodia. My father, my mother escaped the Khmer Rouge regime. The trauma that they experienced, they never were able to fully comprehend or talk it through. So now they were coming to America, which was a blessing for them. They saw so much future ahead of them, at the same time not being able to channel the experiences that they had. My dad never believed in begging for money. He didn't believe in asking for help. We did our best. And my father did the best that he could do at the time, which was cultivating whatever he could cultivate. So as a kid, you see your neighborhood friends biking around or playing dodgeball. And then you see where you're at, where you gather vegetables. And you would have to bundle it up and you had to sell it every weekend at the flea market. As a kid going to school, trying to excel at school, but also trying to excel at home by being a provider. They didn't have the educational skills or the academics, but they did have the ability to teach us grit and perseverance. When my father was still alive, and I remember him tearing up, and he said, "Do you know where your name comes from? Your name comes from?" And I said, "From you, Dad." And he said, "No, it's a mesh of 2 words." And I said, "Okay, elaborate." And he said, "Enchanté in French is enchanted, or pleasure to meet you." And he said that was his favorite word because that's the only French word he knew. And then Chantu is a flower in Cambodia. He combined the two and he said, Onchanto is your name. I want you to know that you are a flower that was dug up from the roughest terrain and was replanted in a different place, and you thrived. I take so much pride in my name because he gave that to me. And I think he would look back and go, this is Onchanto.
Onchanto, you said that you would, your dad cultivated plants and you would pick them. So did you have a big yard or a farm or?
So I always joke that the statute of limitations for lawsuits have now expired. So we would actually in the neighborhood in Pinellas County, you would find mango trees and you would find vegetables on the side of the road. My father would find any type of, I guess, pond, and you would plant vegetables there. And then late at night, we would go and pick it up and clean it and cultivate it and then sell it to the markets, because that's all he really knew, because he grew up on a farm. So of course we didn't have money to buy land. So that's I always joke that we would do that. And it's funny because now I practice law. So it's a lot of interesting stories that we have where I share a story about me and my brothers and I carrying a large boat across this 6-lane traffic trying to go crabbing so we can go sell it at the flea market.
And in the pictures, are you the older daughter or a younger daughter?
I'm the older one, usually with a scowl on my face. That's me.
Now, your parents were married and came here together and then had all you kids?
So my parents were actually, my father served in the army, in the Cambodian army, and then he was wounded and then transferred over to Thailand, eventually to Thailand. And my mother actually was married prior, but her husband passed away. So they went to a refugee camp in Chonburi, Thailand. They met each other and got married, had a baby. So my oldest brother's name is Chonburi. And then they came to America, were sponsored over, then had the rest of us in America.
And obviously they gave you a great love of your culture. What is it that your culture gives you in here?
Well, you know, what's interesting is when you're growing up, you always try to avoid talking about your culture because you want to be like the other kids that have the
Right.
Lunchables for school, or you want to have the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and instead you go to school with rice and you know, fermented fish. So now I've come to really embrace it and really enjoy it. I think it started maybe in college is when the embracing different cultures, because you met so many different people from different areas, international students, or just students from all over the state in the United States. So that was where I really started to go, wow, I am unique. My story is unique. I have this journey that I've crossed, and all of us have a story to tell. So it's embracing it. And now that I have kids, every day I try to inject a story. Of course, they're going, oh gosh, mom, another story. And it's funny, is because I remember thinking back to my parents going, gosh, another story in Cambodia, how you trekked over like 5 miles to go to school. But now I'm really appreciating it and embracing every opportunity to share it with the kids.
Interesting. Right now, I'm reading a book about an Orlando person that went to Cambodia with a mission to demine some of the border areas. So just coincidence.
Yeah, that is a very, very tough. It was a tough time. It is a small piece of the history of Cambodia, but it was the magnitude and impact was so extreme that there's a lot of stories out there. I'm sure you can Google it too, movies and books as well.
Have you gone back to Cambodia at all with your parents or at any time?
No, not yet. I plan to go in the next couple of years. I still have family out there, so my kids want to go out there too. So there's a temple called Angkor Wat, which is one of the largest Buddhist temples, religious monuments. So that's a place that has been on my bucket list. Yes, yes.
I would love to go to Angkor Wat.
It's beautiful from what I've heard.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you'll have to tell me when you're going so I can go with you.
I know. Let's take a trip, Terry, too. Let's go. Samir, we could all go.
We have a discretionary fund at Fusion Fest.
Let me ask you about your filmmaker, Corey. What was it like meeting him, and how did you guys get along?
You know, what's funny is, and I think, Lori, you might remember this, we were actually paired up with another filmmaker, and he was paired up with someone else, but I guess last minute it shifted and we were paired up.
No, I didn't
Because
remember
so the way he explained it was we were supposed to be paired up, and I guess with other people, but then we somehow synced up, which was fine because I feel like his ability to tell the story and his willingness to travel. We went everywhere, and he put it in his car and ran with it. So it was great for him to be able to just be creative, run around town. We went to a lot of different restaurants and
I
were
was
able
gonna
to
say,
get
all those images
yes,
of food, that's not stock footage. That's, that's
yes.
stuff you shot firsthand.
That was us going, hey, by the way, can you guys let us, and here's the waiver. So it was a lot of last minute things, but I feel like when it's last minute like that, it's more organic. And
Absolutely.
the bread, it just worked out perfectly that they were baking the bread at the time, freshly made banh mi. And the person that was rolling the food was doing it when the restaurant was packed. So everyone's watching. There's camera crews just hovering over. It was one of those scenes that you see, I guess, on Netflix or something. And it was just really awesome to see Corey in his element. And it was Corey. There were two other folks as well. So it wasn't just Corey. Corey's team did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, I think that was the second of 3 films that Corey made for us. And I love that shot of you sitting in front of the window where he zooms in. I just, that shot just takes my breath away. It's like a shot that just captures your essence.
Yes,
Peaceful sort of Zen mode.
I agree with you, Lori, because that was also last minute. He's like, how about, because I was already done. I'm like, I'm done. And he's like, actually, can you change back into the outfit again? And I went, why? And he goes, we just thought, and they were huddling. They're like, let's do one last shot. I'm going, sure, we could do one last shot. And it worked out. He's like, just sit there. And I'm going, sit in silence? And he's like, yes, just sit in silence and just embrace the moment. It's like, okay, I can do that. So it was the easiest scene, but it was so powerful, moving.
Absolutely.
Because it makes everyone just ponder about, when you have those moments of silence where you can really just have self-reflection.
And what a story. I mean, that you used to go crabbing at night as a little kid and growing things like, none of this is in the film. I don't know if you even got to tell Corey that, because I'm sure there's plenty of footage that you gave him that he didn't get to use at all. So,
yes,
Samir,
I mean, yeah.
Is there any agricultural background in your family?
No.
You're a city boy?
Yes.
Okay.
We used to go to my aunt and do stuff with my cousins, but we just like those cute little boys that come and they always make fun of them because they don't know what to do. But later, little by little, we start getting there. We used to love to be to try to do anything to be like them. So.
It's funny because I try to explain to my students that being on vacation and having vacation is a fairly contemporary concept. And back in the day, summer vacation from school was going to your aunt and uncle who owned the farm, and working on their farm, so evidently that's the experience you had as well in Morocco.
It was fun. A lot of great memories from there. Definitely. I'm sorry, I'm breaking the fast. So,
that's okay. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Thank you guys for sharing your stories. I'm sorry the filmmakers couldn't make it, but Onchanto, it's such a pleasure to see you again. Now, is your husband Cambodian as well, or
No, he's Vietnamese and British Irish.
Oh, that's an interesting blend. How does that work?
His father served in Vietnam, so he actually met Cambodian soldiers before, and he was training the Cambodian soldiers. So who knows if my father's path crossed with my husband's father. So But yes, so he met his wife in Vietnam.
Oh, wow. Wow. All right. Terry, do you have any other questions?
No, thank you both for joining us today. And
Yes,
thank
thank
you
you.
to our viewers for watching as well.
Thank you.
And have a
Thank
good
you for
run,
having us.
Samir.
Thank you very much.
guys.
Thank you.
Always
Thank
a pleasure.
Enchanté.
Bye, Samir.
Bye, guys.
Thank you very much. Thank you.